Welcome to PharmaSource. Today's episode is a CRO session where I speak to Alessandro Agosti, Senior Director of Scientific Operations at Olon Ricerca. Olon Ricerca Bioscience is a US-based CRO offering contract research, development and manufacturing services. It's part of the wider Olon Group, which means clients can tap into a wide range of services from early phase work to scaling up into full manufacturing, as Alessandro explains.
Okay, my name is Alessandro Agosti. I'm currently Senior Director of Global Science and Technology here at Olon Ricerca. So basically, I'm responsible for the chemistry operation, being analytical chemistry, the process development and manufacturing, as well as the process chemistry group. I am an organic chemist by training. So I have a PhD in organic chemistry and a postdoc in organic synthesis. And then I joined, I started working my industrial career in September 2011. So it's soon my 12th birthday in the industry. Started as a process chemist and team leader in process chemistry, process development, and then moved, expanded towards process safety and reaction scale up. So I contributed to build what is now the process safety and reaction scale up corporate lab in Olon SpA, where we do process safety studies and studies that help, let's say, supporting the transition from the lab into the chemical plant. And then I joined Olon Ricerca about 2 years ago, and here I am.
How does it fit in with Olon Group more widely since the acquisition?
Sure. So the site was purchased in 2017. So Olon decided to purchase the chemical operation of what at the time was Ricerca Bioscience. So no animal facility, no animal testing. We focused on the API manufacturing. And as you mentioned, this is one of the sites in the Olon group. And let's say the primary scope was to have a footprint in United States and intercept the early phase work, so the originator work primarily from United States, small pharma, startups, and so on and so forth. So the key here is, contribute to provide this one-stop shop, meaning intercepting very early phase programs from, pre-tox to very early clinical phases, and then guide and partner with the client, and then eventually scale up for larger scale or even commercial manufacturing in other Olon sites. So this is where we are primarily focused, and of course, being part of a much bigger group that is the Olon Group, we can do some stuff here, but we also leverage all the technologies and the center of excellence in Olon. So design of experiment is conducted at corporate level. We have process safety, as I mentioned, process simulation, biocatalysis. So what we do not do directly here, we get access to everything that is Olon.
So what are those main services and capabilities that you offer then?
Okay, so as I mentioned, we can go from preclinical phases, so preparing material for non-GMP for toxicological studies. And then we can move into GMP material, either at kilo lab or pilot plant. I can expand that later on. For early phase work, primarily up to phase 2, phase 3. This is more a distinction based on amount of material required rather than phases. To expand a little bit, we can prepare and support controlled substances, clinical trial material up to Schedule 2, and we have 3 departments that contribute and are intertwined and contribute to the development of the program. So within the chemistry space, we can go from, impurity isolation, separation to route scouting, process development geared towards scale up. The analytical chemistry group does support the development program. So we have a method development, method validation, phase appropriate method validation. We have, of course, a QC team that is entitled to release the final API. And also we have a very strong solid state group, which is extremely important, particularly in early phase. For instance, we can offer salt screening when the companies are deciding which form is the right one for their future API, as well as a very strong group in polymorph screening and crystallization development, part of which is done also in collaboration to the other Olon Group. And in particular, in the analytical chemistry, these are tools that we use for supporting the ongoing programs, but these are also services that we offer as a standalone, more CRO type of services. And then, as I mentioned, what we call the manufacturing, we have a GMP kilo lab, where we can go up to about 5 kilogram scale. And then we have a pilot plant with the reactors that are ranging from 40 liters up to 2,000 liters, either glass line or stainless steel. So we're talking about a maximum of, let's say, 75 to 100 kg batch. Accordingly, it depends on the process. And we do have also a filter dryer in Asteloy with continuous lining discharge on about 30 kilogram size. And last thing, we are also implementing a new high-potent API suite for small-scale research and GMP. And we are talking about OAB5, which should be the safe bridge category 3 type of material.
Are there any recent projects or achievements that Olon Ricerca has been working on, which you're particularly proud or excited about?
Yeah, I think we have a couple of examples. One related to Olon Ricerca development activity. So we collaborated with a US-based pharma company to develop an oncology drug from very early phase. So we did prepare the 200 grams tox lot, did a quick few hundred grams GMP material, and then that quickly escalated into 3 GMP manufacturing from 2 kilogram, 10 kilogram, 18 kilogram within a 1 year time span. So it was quite a big jump in terms of scale, and this was made possible because of the continuous, interaction between the different teams, fine-tuning the process, fine-tuning the analytical work, as well as, the process engineering that is inevitably needed when you go from, few hundred grams to manufacturing batches on large scale on a chemical plant. So that's a good example of the speed of the development phases that are required these days. Another example, which I think is worth mentioning, it has to do more on how we can leverage the interaction within the Olon Group. So during the COVID, there was one of our clients whose material was sitting on a Shanghai port dock that was basically closed during the COVID, and due to the network of Olon SpA, the fact of having a Chinese presence, we were able to reroute the shipment, and we basically limited the delay to 2 weeks rather than we don't know how long it would have been sitting there. So that is also an important thing these days, to be able to provide a broad spectrum of, let's call it, services to our partners.
Absolutely. What would you say the main challenges and opportunities there are for CROs? Think as we go into 2024, what are the issues which are front of mind for you?
So that's a very interesting question. I think, challenges and opportunities go hand in hand. You must be flexible. You must be prepared to turn challenges into new opportunities. So a trend that we are seeing in this business is from many clients is the requirement to move away from Far East manufacturing and also research. So this is something that we have to be able to leverage, and of course this will come with a higher price tag. But again, we see that as an opportunity, and it has clear advantages in terms of control, interaction, the possibility, to take an airplane and in 12 hours be on site to see a reaction running in the plant. So it's important. It's important to deliver right first time and keep the timeline, even more so in this very challenging working environment.
It's useful for you being US based, considering what's going through Congress at the moment and reshoring supply chains.
Absolutely. That's extremely important, and we can take the best out of these socio-political context.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe that what we say is that we like to develop, a partnership with our client, meaning what we like to provide is a roadmap for their development, meaning partnering from the very early on, from the way we write the proposal, the way we try to understand the client's most immediate needs, but also with an eye of what comes after. And that, of course, will drive and impact the way we do the process development. We want to do a fit for purpose, but we want to think that there might be, as in the example I gave you, 6 months down the road, a much larger scale up required. And we believe that establishing a partnership and providing a process package rather than selling a product is the key to get a successful working relationship.
Alessandro, thank you so much for your time. Very interesting.
Thank you for this opportunity.
And you can find out more about the CRO by heading to olonricerca.com. Thank you for listening.